Now, there's something I like about the formatting of our date, like you can see here. There's what we call format, and the date we are seeing there is called long. You can change to short. You see, it becomes 03 um, June 2020, or it can be anything else. For example, custom. So you can change or time or custom or anything else. So you can leave it at short. Now, next is gender is varchar, which is text, but we may want to this time around use a different control because I want us to use as many controls as possible. So we can actually have a drop down or what you call a combo box instead. So you can have it here, and then you can add items. So we can say male, female, for example. Then click OK. And now we need a label for that. So we bring it here. Make sure that is how it is. Now we change the text for the label. So come here, and this is gender. Yep. Great. Now, next is country. Also say that in future we are going to use a combo box so that we pick the countries from a drop down. But for now, we can use a text box so that we capture in. So for the sake of this project, we can still have text box because that is varchar. So I come in here, and then I can expand it. Then notice that blue line. It shows me, Visual Studio gives me a chance to easily know if I wanted to have a similar length to the other one. So as I drag and it gets to the same level, that is what happens. So this is for country. So I come in here and so this is country. Then I remember to change my text box as well. So this is TXT country. And this was my combo box, by the way, which is combo box 1. I can say CMB for combo and then gender. So you'll notice later it's good to name or to give names that you can easily remember to the different controls. Next and last actually is active. So is active is Boolean or what you call bit. And you can use what you call option buttons. Or for this case, I want us to use what you call a checkbox. So checkbox will enable you to say yes or no by either ticking it or unticking it. So I'm looking for checkbox here. Checkbox. So I drag here, align it to the left of those other controls, and I change the name to is active. Now, notice that is active is a name, but the text that is going to be displayed goes to a property called text, which is there. And this is, I can say, is active. Or I can basically, I can say it's active, that's fine. Or I can basically write active so that it's yes or no. Now, if by default, most of the patients we are capturing are active, you can have the default value here checked to be true so that it is always checked before you uncheck it. You can simply put it that way. Now, so my form still reads form 1 here, and I may also need to name it, to name the text, because form 1 is what we are seeing here. FRM patients is the name of the form. but the text that is being displayed up here is Form 1. It will always be good to have a name that can easily make the user know what they are capturing. And for this, I'll say patience. So that is the simplest way to build a form from the database. So what we are basically doing is that whatever we discussed on the things that were going to the database are the same things that actually come to the interface in terms of the form. So we can see that that is the name, that is the ID number, that is, and so on. Now, finally, for this form will need to take in values from this interface to the database. And hence we need the controls for clicking. So usually someone would easily want to use buttons. So like here, you can have a button to say, that is button 1. You have that button to say new. If you want to clear records, then have another button, say save. Then have another button for deleting. So I can come here and have delete. So I can have buttons there for different functions within the interface. Now, we can test the project so far, see that it doesn't have any bugs or any errors, and it can actually run. So you can come here and click on that start button. So I click here, start. So something is happening. We can see from there. There we go. So this is our running application. This is our running application. And I should be able to, or a user should be able to capture in the name there, ID number, date of birth. Realize that when I click here, it brings a calendar-like control, which is a date picker. You can easily select a date by clicking here, or basically coming here. You'll see the different years. So I go back so fast, things like that. Or I can just click here and type in a date. So I can type in from my keyboard 1997. Which month? I can type 4, so it goes to April. What was the date? 6th, for example. Then look at the combo box that we created. That is it. So I can pick the gender from there. Then country, Kenya. So this is by default is active, so you can active or not. And then now we expect that when we click on save, it sends that data to the database table that we created. When we click new, then it clears the text boxes or the controls for me to capture the next item. And then delete should actually be able to delete the items that have been selected to the screen. And this is the step of building that to an interface. Once you get to this, then we can already start seeing that the project is coming up. From the design, we were able to identify what we want to do, which was actually the requirement. We were able to discuss the things that will feed into that database. We're able to know that there's a database that will store that information inside tables, and tables will have fields. And now, after that, we come and create an interface that the client will simply use without knowing all these data structures and all that. They just simply want to click on new, and they come in and capture the details, click on save, and that record goes to the database. And that is what we're going to learn next. Thank you.